Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd here back in Farpoint Studio as the water has receded somewhat and I now have wading boots so that I can get back here even when the ground is a bit spongy. We're talking about Confessions and Lamentations, this episode of Babylon 5, and what we find in it is mostly a story about Dr. Franklin in which he is trying to find out what causes an epidemic along with a doctor of the Markov race, which is the main group that's being affected by it. They don't know if it's catchable by humans or by other species that are on the station, but at the same time, they can't assume anything, whether it travels by air, whether by touch, whether by fluids, or anything else. Now, the Markov people have already decided from years ago when this plague broke out on their own planet on an island that it was due to immoral living. And therefore they were punished by the gods, and it was only in that geographic location. It didn't spread to other parts of the planet, and therefore they named it after the island, which was called Jaffa. So Stephen and finally the Markov doctor try to research as much as they can the causes of this. He had been forbidden to do this before. Their politicians had basically said, no, you're not going to research this. We know what causes it, and so we're going to leave it at that. And what it says is, it's not a diatribe against religion at all. J. Michael Straczynski, who is a very religious fellow, usually presents more positive aspects of religion and spirituality than most sci-fi programs do. And in this case, what we see, it's the politicians that are essentially cowardly. They know what the people think, and so they're going to go along with that. They're not going to approve the doctors looking into something other than what the people already think because they don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to be not reelected. And so in a desire just to stay in power, they go ahead and let this urban myth rule, and it accounts for lives lost on Babylon 5, on a ship that approaches it, and on the planet as well. Perhaps if there's a moral of the story, it is that people never learn. They tend to think what they think, whether there's any proof on it or not. It's just because that's what I think and it works, and so there we go. It's interesting, this episode came out back in the 90s, and who'd have thought that it would be as applicable today, with a lot of people denying that there are diseases, but rather conspiracies. I'd like to know what you think about this. Please put it in the comments below. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed, please do. I'd like to hear from you, and I'd like you to also click a like, if you will, and thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with Deep Space Nine, and until next time, don't go far.